TikTok, thank you for joining. Okay, we're gonna go a bit short today on the live. Okay, and let's go ahead and we'll start. We'll start YouTube in 30 seconds. Thank you. All right, and we're live. Okay, we're live on YouTube as well. Thank you so much, mi gente, for joining me today. Yeah, we do have some FIFA Collect packs here that, when I was looking at the website this morning, it looks like they put up the other cities that I had noticed. So we'll take a look at those. But I wanted to join in today. This is going to be a bit of a shorter live today on the Travel Football Fan Show. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Travel Football Fan. I'm helping fans save money in travel, the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We're going to do a bit of a shorter live today just because I got a whole bunch of things to do this week. As you all might know, I am going to Monterrey and to Barranquilla next week. Barranquilla as part of my collaboration with Absolute Sport. Thank you so much to Absolute Sport for pretty much sponsoring that trip to go see La Selección Colombia for the first time in my life in Colombia. They are basically gonna, show me the entire Absolute Sport experience. So in that way, if you folks can see, if you si eres colombiano in the United States, for example, and if you want to go see Colombia, basically clinch qualification more than likely in September against Bolivia at home, then you could go ahead and purchase one of their travel packages. I'm gonna go ahead and experience that package myself next week to pretty much highlight what they offer and what they would be able to offer to you for the 2026 World Cup as well. So yeah, that is that. And yeah, we'll go from there as well. Okay. So the other thing is, of course, if you are interested in those packages for not just next summer, but for any other sporting events, because they not only do soccer, they do NFL, Formula One, and other events. Go ahead and send me a DM on TikTok or Instagram if you're interested in those sports travel packages with Absolute Sport. So not only am I going to be going to Barranquilla next weekend to see Colombia, Peru, but then I'm going to be traveling to Monterrey, and I'm going to be working on a special project with them. I am now collaborating with them on an official basis for the 2026 World Cup. And so we're going to be doing site visits to the Fan Festival site. We're going to do site visits to Estadio BBVA, folks. Going to be doing a full stadium tour. They're going to show me everything that they're doing to prepare for next summer. So in that way, you folks are just know what to expect in Monterrey, to say the least. So please go ahead and make sure you are following and supporting in all my socials. Okay, you're watching live on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you click the like button, and make sure you click on that bell button to be notified of my latest content, because this content will be coming starting after I come back from Monterrey, most likely, because I can't take my laptop to Colombia, unfortunately. You know how they're doing at the ports of entry here in the United States. So I don't want my computer to be confiscated by these folks. So starting at around June 13, June 14, I'm going to start uploading all that content from Barranquilla. I'm going to start uploading all that content from Monterrey, and we're just going to go ahead and go from there. Okay, so it's going to be a lot of exciting content from multiple fronts, all in preparation for next summer. I know I said that we're going to talk about ticket prices today, so let me just get right into that. I know this was kind of a long 5-minute intro, but I just wanted you folks to know, just in case you missed it, what is in store for the next 2 weeks for me. So I might not be able to do as many travel football fan shows. I promise to bring you one from Barranquilla. I got to figure out how I'm going to pull it off. I'll probably just flip the phone and just talk straight to the phone. So if you want to be part of that experience, the Travel Football Fan Show traveling live to Barranquilla, and maybe I'll be able to pull one off in Monterrey as well. We'll have to see. It depends on the timing. We'll go from there. Oh yeah, one more thing about Monterrey. I will be part of the World Football Summit. I will be attending that event as well. So overall, just a lot of things happening. 2 weekends from now. And so, of course, I just need to start preparing for a lot of things now. But just trying to organize my home and try to do everything there. Okay. Wanted to talk about the ticket prices. What is the overall update on tickets? Okay. And for those of you watching on TikTok, feel free to join me on YouTube, live stream YouTube. Remember, you can go ahead and submit your questions on the chat. I will give it priority. And also, if you want to drop a dono with your question, that'd be great. Really appreciate it. I have the stickers available there. I am still considering membership, and we could talk about that maybe later on in the show. So let's just get right into those prices. What is the ticket update for the World Cup? So I know you're seeing the FIFA Collect drops, okay, on your screen. Right now, we're still seeing marketplace. There's still RTBs being sold. We reviewed some of these packs in my last live stream on Saturday night, but not for Boston, Miami, or Atlanta because I didn't see them for Boston, Miami, or Atlanta in the last live stream. And so the same premise still applies, though. You can still get an RTB to a World Cup match. If you get a group stage game, you get an RTB for 2 tickets. If you get a knockout match, you get an RTB for 1 ticket. And then they give you 2 Category 2 tickets to a FIFA Club World Cup match, city, and a match assignment at random. Now, of course, for this one, for Boston, one of the possible RTBs that you can find inside is this package for M74, which could be played by the Mexican national team depending on its path in the tournament. As I think we've talked about before, I believe they would get to Boston if they finish second, I believe, in their group and then win out. Then this could be the RTB that leads you there. If I'm not mistaken, it's Boston. I don't have any specific way to check right now. I don't. It might be Boston because I think if they finish first, they go Mexico City, Miami. Yes, I believe that's how it is. If they finish second, they go LA, Houston, Boston. So that's a potential pathway there. Of course, this pack is a bit better than the other packs. The only potential negative that I do see, not potential, I think it is the one negative, the city and match assignment at random for those 2 Club World Cup tickets. I would not like for you to have to travel to a different city than from where you're at in order to go ahead and enjoy those Club World Cup matches. Miami is the same situation, of course. I believe you might be able to get a 3rd place match. Okay, which there's still plenty of the knockout. There's plenty of the knockout here for Miami. Okay, same situation as with the Club World Cup match, not really knowing where you're going. And then this is $499. This is very interesting here, but that's also because you might get the RTB for the semifinal, which again, it would just be for 1 ticket, although there's very few of those packs left. So, again, you're going to have to decide whether these 3 packs work for you. I should say 4, because there's Houston here as well. But it is available there for you for your purchase. Okay, so that's on the RTB's FIFA Collect front. What is going on with the prices? Again, folks, FIFA, according to reports by The Athletic, recently revealed that they are strongly considering dynamic pricing, okay, on tickets, which means that those reports that we were seeing, literally the weekend before, I think this was last weekend, the weekend before Memorial Day, that, the tickets are going to average $305, that ends up being incorrect. The $305 price average came from this that you're seeing on your screen. This is the 2018 bid book that was submitted by the 3 countries when, they were pretty much presenting their united bid, right, for this World Cup. And the $305 average would have taken into account if the ticket prices were at this value and stayed fixed to this value that you're seeing on your screen. But if FIFA does decide to implement dynamic pricing, well, then that's not really going to be helpful, because then these prices are inevitably going to shoot up, right? They're going to shoot up, okay? And that pretty much wrecks any hope that these tickets would average at $305. So, in terms of pricing, do not expect the World Cup tickets for next summer to average $305. If anything, I would expect them to start at $305-ish, around that area and above. Of course, it is not fully has not been fully determined. That dynamic pricing will be implemented for the next World Cup. Pero you just have to think, okay, if it does get implemented, these tickets might start at $305, but the minute people get on the website, which I'll get to that point in a second, yeah, those ticket prices are going to shoot up. They're just inevitably going to shoot up. Which then leads to the next question that you might be thinking. So does that mean is Ticketmaster selling these tickets? That hasn't been confirmed yet. But now the chances of Ticketmaster selling tickets for the World Cup have gone up exponentially. And I think that is not something that that folks can say like, oh, that is like an exaggeration, or that you're trying to create fear or anything like that. I don't think so. You know, I don't think it's an exaggeration that Ticketmaster could be selling tickets for the 2026 World Cup. Now, that is a speculation. Let me be very clear about that. Okay? It is only speculation that I'm saying that Ticketmaster will sell the tickets, because unless FIFA was given the algorithm to do dynamic pricing by one of these ticketing platforms, excuse me, then they might have created their own platform. They do have their own platform, but they might have created their own algorithm to create dynamic pricing and thus increase the prices, right? That we don't know for sure. Okay, we have already seen that Ticketmaster is selling tickets for the Club World Cup. We are seeing that, right? And that has also has had its pros and cons. Mostly con on FIFA, because the ticket prices have dropped. They have dropped those prices, and so that has become a bit more friendlier for the consumer that hasn't purchased tickets yet. Of course, for those of you that did buy tickets at the beginning when these tickets did come out, kind of out of luck, because you basically bought tickets too expensive, and now they're considerably cheaper. Excuse me. So we have to be ready, okay, that tickets for the World Cup might be on sale, might go on sale through Ticketmaster. I think that is a strong possibility. I know that people were asking me for percentages a while back about, oh, what percentage do you think Ticketmaster will sell tickets? I know I started at like 5%, then I went to maybe 15%. Now with this whole potential dynamic pricing situation, I mean, can we say 50-50, folks? We have to be ready for the potential apocalypse. I know, again, that sounds like very much fear mongering and everything like that, but considering we're in the United States, considering that Ticketmaster is also used in Mexico and Canada, you don't think Ticketmaster would probably be giving FIFA a nice, generous donation to the nonprofit? I'm just saying that the space is there for Ticketmaster to rake in the billions. Now, the only reason, okay, that Ticketmaster might not be involved in the sale of the World Cup tickets is because FIFA has already announced that they're going to take home with them back to Switzerland all of the money made from the ticket sales. They're not sharing that pot with the host cities. You heard it. You heard it right. FIFA is going to take all the money they made from tickets back to Switzerland. They're not giving a single cent of those ticket revenues to the host cities. It's probably why Chicago is not hosting World Cup matches. They probably saw that and they were like, yeah, we out. Okay? That's probably why. Okay? So, again, I think I have to increase my the chances of Ticketmaster going. Thank you. Have to increase the chances of Ticketmaster potentially selling these tickets up to 50%. But if there is, but if there's one big thing from this is that the ticket sales will go directly to FIFA. It will not be given to the host cities. Damn, Jerry Jones won't like that. Well, that's probably why Jerry Jones, that is a good point, right? Like, so what do the owners gain out of this, right? All the economic activity around the stadium and in the stadium, right? Like, think about concessions. Think about Parking. That parking, I mean, if they allow the parking, of course, that's going to be expensive. And all of the things, all the economic activity around the stadium is what's going to benefit them. Of course, the access, they got the special privileges with city governments, with the state governments, stuff like that. That they're all going to get, right? And that's why it's so odd that we're having this kind of like back and forth between the federal government of the United States, wanting to like at times scare off tourists from coming to this World Cup and thinking that the domestic sports fan is going to be able to pick up the tab. That's why it's kind of just weird that no more is being said, at least out publicly. Maybe it's being said in the back rooms, but from my hearing through the grapevines here in DC, that's just been the weird thing about it. But I agree, it is weird that these owners didn't push back, but that's FIFA. But FIFA says, "Yo, we're gonna keep the ticket sales, and basically everything else goes to you guys," which is why it's important that the tourists come for these cities. With dynamic pricing, do you think the city would play a part in it as well? Yeah, I mean, and actually on that point, Toronto had a proposal that they wanted to buy a certain percentage of the tickets and resell them to the public, which is met with a lot of criticism. I think that they were mainly focusing on the hospitality tickets, but even then, it's like now the city of Toronto wants to act as a ticket scalper for the World Cup. Just seems absolutely wild that they would even think about doing that. They're not even experts in scalping tickets, right? Much less anybody else. So that is something that we have to wait and see. Okay. Now, what about the calendar? Okay, because I know so much of that has been made about. Okay, when are these tickets going on sale? So this past weekend, Andres Cantor with in FDP Radio interviewed Infantino and asked him basically the same question. He said they're focused on Club World Cup and that there's going to be information that comes out from August onward. The Athletic, on the most recent article about the dynamic pricing, said that those FIFA officials that were revealing the information said that they're going to start in the third quarter of the year, which is September, basically July, August, September. Gotta get my calendar right. But remember, Peter Tomozawa, Seattle Local Organizing Committee CEO, said in his presentation that we have covered here, October, November, December. So now we're back to a 6-month range. It's definitely going to happen before before the World Cup draw in December. Okay, still to be decided whether it's Las Vegas or DC. Las Vegas seems to be in the lead, but it could still be DC. Okay. Okay. So we have that, and then what we also have now is, when do these tickets go on sale? We don't know. It's basically August to December, assuming before the draw, at least the first phase, at least if that's how they're going to keep it. The reason why I say that is because in that same presentation that the Seattle CEO, Peter Tomozawa, gave, he also said that the first group of tickets was going to be packages. Infantino didn't make a mention of that in his interview with Andres Cantor on FTP Radio, pero now we're super confused because are we doing dynamic pricing on those ticket packages or are we doing dynamic pricing on regular tickets? But then the regular tickets are not, according to Peter Tomozawa, are not going to be sold until the beginning of 2026. So what the hell are we selling? What is FIFA selling first? What are they offering to fans first? We don't know. That's the problem. And I know that's the question that keeps coming out in every single live stream. And that's why I wanted to really make it like focus here, okay? We genuinely do not know, man. And that is frustrating because in terms of the money standpoint, right? Because I just don't want to give information on tickets. It's also about, okay, how do we prepare for this economically, right? The problem is that, I don't know how much time you have left to save for this World Cup. In terms, at least in terms of the tickets. I don't know how much more time you have left to save. Okay? I don't. I really wish I could tell you how much time you have left to save. Uh, but I don't know. Okay, the tickets could go on sale as soon as August. It could go on sale as late as the weekend before the World Cup draw, basically after Black Friday and Thanksgiving. That is the range that we're working with. So if you haven't started saving your money, y'all late. You gotta start saving money now. Ideally in a high yield savings account. Okay, gives you those little extra cents and dollars. Might not be much, but an extra cents and dollars is what's going to be needed here in order to hedge against potential dynamic pricing of World Cup tickets. And that's just the reality of it. Okay, um, that's just the absolute reality of it. Okay. I'm starting to think even FIFA doesn't know what it wants to do. Yeah, no, actually, that's actually a very good point. We genuinely do not know what FIFA wants to do. Of course, I mean, trust me. If I had that, if I was privy to that information, I would spill it unless unless something was in the way of it, right? Um, but at least with the conversations of the people that I know that I've been having, they also don't know the ticket prices. They also don't know when they're going on sale. So there's this layering of leadership and organization where FIFA is up here at the top and the local organizing committees are below it. So they're not really like kind of like working collaboratively in one big table. It's more like FIFA has its table and then the 16 organizing committees are working on their own tables. And trust me when I say this, for some of these cities, when I've been talking with them separately, they have expressed surprise. They definitely expressed surprise, for example, about those Club World Cup super ticket pack that they were trying to sell. That you had to go to all 20 games, or else you didn't get the RTB for the final. They were very surprised at that. With the conversations of the people that I've been having, they were surprised at that. They were not notified of that. So, Carlos, it is totally possible that FIFA also does not know what the heck it wants to do for this tournament. It has no idea. So, and maybe this whole dynamic pricing situation, maybe they leaked it to The Athletic to hear what people would say. And again, as I've said many times before, I have confirmed that FIFA officials watch this content. They watch it, folks. And so they probably could just be wondering, hey, is this guy for real? Let's tune in to see what the what was I gonna say? What the people are saying, right? And if all they're seeing is your comments in the chat, basically saying, "Hey, yo, this is whack," then it's possible that they're like, "Oh crap, maybe we shouldn't do it," right? Uh, yeah, yeah. So it's possible. It's totally possible that what is this? That FIFA just simply does not know what the heck it wants. And maybe, and like I said, maybe they're just throwing these little pieces of information out there, little tidbits to see how people react. And if they don't, and if they see people are just reacting so negatively that it could literally affect their bottom line, then that's that. Now, still surprising, of course, considering that there's so many other things that could be affecting and are affecting the World Cup right now, as well. So, yeah. It's gonna be interesting, folks. It's gonna be interesting what the lead up is gonna be. But again, to wrap all these things around, when are tickets going on sale? We don't know. It's sometime between August and December. Again, various pieces of information are conflicting with one another. Where are they going on sale? We assume it's FIFA.com/tickets, but again, it could be with Ticketmaster because of the dynamic pricing. How much are they going to cost? They're not going to cost an average of $305. They're more likely going to start there, and if not, be much more expensive because of the dynamic pricing. What are the other two W's? Why and how? Again, how, we don't know the process yet. We don't know if it's packages first. We don't know when the regular tickets are going on sale because, again, Seattle said it was going to be the beginning of 2026, but Infantino didn't clarify that on his interview with Andres Cantor, FTP Radio. And why are we doing all this? I have no clue. Brandon, you think we could expect any lawsuits soon that could actually deal a blow to FIFA? Lawsuits specifically to what? Price gouging? Doubtful because of Trump. Whatever lawsuit has to be brought up against FIFA would have to be done by the United States government. Um, if you were looking to like knock FIFA down for price gouging, but that's not going to happen because of the Trump administration, and the Justice Department being aligned with one another. Yeah, it's probably not going to happen. If you're trying to say like a consumer, what are those lawsuits? A class action lawsuit, you would have to prove injury. So we can't do the lawsuit right now, right? I mean, like if I'm a lawyer, I'm not a lawyer, but you wouldn't be able to do a lawsuit first if the injury hasn't occurred, Um, so yeah, I know I don't like basically what are you suing for is the question. Do the host venues or states not do anything regarding what exactly? Price gouging? Sure, there's those rules for price gouging, but what I'm saying is the politics of everything that's being lined up right now favor no lawsuits happening or that these lawsuits will be thrown out because Texas, Republican, Florida, Republican, sure, California is Democrat, but I mean, I don't know about Newsom and whatnot. If there's a lawsuit coming out of anywhere, it's gonna be either New York or Seattle. Kansas City is also Republican, and maybe Philly, but that's about it. Boston maybe, but like you have to exactly determine what is the lawsuit about, and are enough fans going to sign up to be part of a class action lawsuit. And again, the courts could also say, hey, this is FIFA's tournament. They can do whatever they want with it. You don't have to buy the ticket. You don't have to buy the ticket. That's probably where the law will land. And again, that's just politically because it favors that environment more than anything else. People shouldn't have voted for this guy, but no here, no there. We're stuck with it where we're at right now. So yeah. Folks, other questions. TikTok. We said goodbye to TikTok. Folks, on YouTube, make sure, again, you're subscribed to my channel. Click the like button. Click on the bell button. And again, you can drop donos with the stickers. Let's also talk about memberships as well in a second as well. But I just wanted to answer other questions regarding tickets. This is really the most comprehensive update that we have for tickets as of May 27, 2025. Infantino said we're not talking about tickets for the World Cup until after the Club World Cup. So basically, we're up for the Club World Cup. I mean, again, on that FDP Radio interview, he said, yo, buy tickets to Club World Cup. So that is literally their focus right now. Literally their focus right now is the Club World Cup. Okay, other questions, folks? If not, we could definitely go into, again, more of the State of the Union type of situation with my content, with what's going to come up in the next couple of weeks. Again, we have hit the 3,000 watch hours. Actually, we're at 3,184. So we're actually approaching about 800 hours to go for full-on monetization with ads and stuff like that, which I know you'll probably all skip, which is fine. But at least my videos do get monetized and will be impacted by the amount of viewers that do watch my content. So that's great. I can offer a membership, okay, since I have many of you on right now. I can offer a membership for other exclusive content. I'm just trying to still figure out exactly what I would offer to you. Like, do we all meet together on an exclusive weekly chats, to talk about all these things related to the World Cup? Like, what would you like from me, right? And you can type it in the comments, of course, or DM me afterwards in my other socials. What would you like from me if I was to offer a membership? Say something cheap, like $5 a month. What would be one thing that you would like for me to offer to you from that membership? And of course, I have to make sure that I price it accordingly, because then if y'all ask for a bunch of things, then might have to charge them more. But I'm also trying to be very cognizant of cost and making sure that I make my content obviously profitable and be able to generate revenue, but at the same time make sure that you're cognizant of your expenses as well. So please type it in the chat. What would be some things that if I did open up a membership option for y'all, which is available for me to do right now, what would you like in that membership? Can you make a post about how much money should be saved? Maybe any tips regarding work or other ways to attend? Maybe for like low income paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, man. Look, I think the reality is, Brandon, is that there really isn't much in terms of video that I could do to help do that is not general financial advice, right? It's going to be the simple things. Are you budgeting money right now? Do you have a budget? If you don't, I offer one on my website that you can purchase. There's plenty of other options there out there in the internet as well. Or you could just pick up a piece of paper and just like literally track your expenses in a notebook, right? Are you budgeting? Because that's gonna be kind of like the first thing that you need to do in terms of your expenses to prepare. Regardless if it's for a World Cup or not, man, just general life savings advice, life management advice is to, do you know what you're spending your money on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis? Start tracking that now. Go back to your previous 2-3 months of expenses and track it, categorize it. And you're going to start seeing, oh, maybe I shouldn't be spending this much money here, here, and here. Now, I know we can't cut ourselves into saving money, okay? So can you go ahead and generate extra income some way, somehow? Unfortunately, in our world, um, in our world as well, you have to go ahead and do some side hustles. Like, so for example, I'm a youth soccer coach. That is pretty much like my part-time job. Luckily, it pays very, very well for the hour, so I'm good. And my wife is the breadwinner in our household, so we're pretty comfortable as we are. Okay, but of course, doing my work here on YouTube, of course, I'm across all the other socials. So yeah. I mean, I'm already across Brandon. You might be new to my channel here, but I got 47,000 followers on TikTok and over 16,000 on Instagram. So you must be new to our content. But yeah, man, I've been grinding this content out for the last 3 years and change. So, folks, like, you have to do different types of side hustles. You have to be able to maximize the amount of time possible if what you're looking to do is to save money for the World Cup. But yeah, that's really the three pillars of advice. Budget, to know what exactly you're spending your money on. Cut costs wherever you can and save your money. Ideally in a high yield savings account. That way you get those little extra cents and dollars in there, okay? Main thing is, of course, with cost cutting is also knowing how to spend your money. So you're not going to go into debt for World Cup tickets. There's absolutely no point in doing that, fam. Absolutely none. If you're eligible for any cashback credit cards, aim for those first. Don't worry about travel points and miles. If you're a low income or paycheck type of person, you're not going to generate enough expense to be able to earn enough points to use them for travel. Get a cashback credit card. Hopefully your credit's in a good position where you can go ahead and get cash back on your expenses and get used to the idea of, all right, for every dollar I spent, can I get 1.5% back, 2% back? Those types of things will help you out. Maybe not so much for the World Cup. It might be too short of a time frame for the World Cup, but it will help you out financially over the long run, okay? And at the end of the day, that's kind of like the bread and butter of my content. Money, travel, advice for the World Cup. Yes, it's become a bit more political just because we're getting closer to it. There's been a lot more political decisions that are affecting the World Cup. But if you're able to do all of these things, that's going to help you, sure, for the World Cup, of course, but it's going to help you pass for the World Cup, okay? So if those are the things that you can do, great. Do them, and you go from there, okay? It would have been nice if FIFA were smarter with organizing the World Cup games. I mean, is that the groups only plays in one country, their games not play in different countries like right now? Yeah, I think, you know what? I was going to go change my screen, but actually, that's actually a good point that you bring up there. Let me go ahead and pull up my my travel groups. Google Drive. Okay. Give me 2 seconds right here as I organize myself. Okay. Go here. So yeah, I think this is the document that you were referring about. And agreed, Javier. It is weird, right, that FIFA didn't. FIFA said that they were doing this tournament in regional clusters, which, I mean, for the most part, they did. Okay, I won't knock FIFA on this one too much. For the most part, they did create the regional clusters. Okay, the problem is that now with the current American administration that we have, it does create this problem where, are we going to, what is this? How are fans going to navigate ping-ponging back between all of these countries, right? And so that's where the problem is, right? Because, like, even look at the Mexico group, right? This could have been a fully Mexico group, except they had to throw in Atlanta there on match day 2 for Group A, which inevitably helps Mexico because then that team is going to have to go fly from from either Guadalajara, Ciudad de Mexico to Atlanta, and then come back into Mexico. And of course, those fans are going to have to travel and expense money in that respect, right? But even in a group that's fully in the United States, I mean, this one's probably the friendliest now in terms of travel, okay? Because at least it's all in the United States, and you're not having to worry about ping-ponging back and forth between, two of the host countries. So Group C becomes very, very nice because you're at least in the United States. You don't have to worry about having to recross international borders. Whereas before, I was saying Group I was the best one to travel in because that at least is in the Northeast. You can use Amtrak, and the only one time you got to go travel out is to Toronto on match day 3. But again, this all depends, man. Like, unfortunately, we're in a situation where every group requires you to travel outside. It requires you to travel at least to 2 countries. This is also kind of the problem of Mexico not having a third. I mean, not Mexico, Canada not having a third city. Had Canada selected a third city to host World Cup matches, you might have been able to do 2 groups in Canada, 2 groups in Mexico, which would have been 4, and then 8 groups in the United States. Bingo. No cross traveling necessary. Right? Because it's 12 groups. You could have done that. 2 groups Mexico, 2 groups Canada, 8 groups United States. There would have been no cross travel necessary. But this is where we're at, folks. This is where we're at in regards to this ping ponging back and forth. And now, they've already organized the schedule. They've already said that these are going to be the dates. I think it would be something very, very monumental if FIFA decided, you know what, psych on this calendar, we're going to go back to the drawing board and reorganize this calendar, because then, again, you're having to then also tell these city governments, hey, and city, state, and federal governments, hey, we're going to change this date, to accommodate this, and this. Like, it does become a bit of a quagmire at this point to change it. But, Javier, like you said, because they're not going to change it, then we're going to have all these other problems as well, And again, yes, Brandon, all these groups do exist. This is how it is for the World Cup. This is. I took all this information from the schedule, and this is how we're playing the group stage. Okay, so it's not that FIFA necessarily did this bad. Like, for example, Group D, it is a West Coast group, right? They have a game in Vancouver. That is a West Coast group. Okay, Group G is also a West Coast group. So Group D and Group G can be considered the West Coast group. What I'm saying is that because now of how the Customs and Border Patrol agents at the ports of entry to the United States are treating tourists, like if basically they're invading the country, the way that behavior is being exemplified, it is creating this situation for fans are going to have to decide, do they want to go back and forth or not? I think some fans will go to the games for their country since they will have buy, fly, more money. Of course, Javier, we knew that this was going to be the thing, though. Javier, for the 3 years or so that I've been creating content, I knew this was going to be the problem for many of these fans. I knew this was going to be the most expensive World Cup for the travel part of it. I didn't expect the dynamic pricing of the tickets. I will be honest with you on that part. I did not expect dynamic pricing for tickets. Okay? Absolutely not. But am I surprised of the expense for the World Cup in terms of travel? I'm not surprised at all, folks. At all. I knew this was going to be the situation. And I do think, for the most part, FIFA did a pretty decent job with the groups. I would have improved a couple, right? I would have maybe not put this game in Atlanta, which, of course, again, benefits Mexico. I probably wouldn't have put... Toronto. Canada does have to play in Toronto, right? That kind of does make sense. So I guess you couldn't get away from this group too much. This makes sense for this group. This makes somewhat some good sense for this group. I think when I did my initial other analysis, I said that I think Group E was kind of a weird group because of Kansas City, Houston. Like, this one traverses half of the country. So that one's kind of weird. I like this group because it's straight up in the central area. I do like Group G as well, or West Coast. Group H is a bit weird because of then again Atlanta, Miami, then Guadalajara, Houston. That kind of throws a monkey wrench into it. Group I, I've always said was the best group because of Amtrak. You can use Amtrak to travel up there. Okay. And then these two groups, I think, were like some of the worst ones because again of all the travel that you have to do in between all of these cities. So I think for the most part, FIFA did a good job with the travel groups, but now with the current administration in the United States, are fans going to want to risk that back and forth travel? Is there an average guesstimate price of tickets for group stage? Again, Andrew, I did cover this earlier, but no. Definitely not going to be $305. That I can tell you that much. It is not going to be $305 because if FIFA does implement dynamic pricing, it is going to be nowhere near $305. Okay? So be ready to spend a lot more money on those tickets, which is obviously a net negative for a lot of us that we're wishing to do a lot more for this World Cup. A lot more travel, a lot more going to games. That might not be happening now because of this increased amount of tickets, prices on those tickets. Again, still to be confirmed that will be the case, but that was the reporting that the Athletic did. I have not been able to confirm whether that will happen with my own sources, but that's what it is. Yes, more than $305 to start. It is not going to average. It is not. Unfortunately, it is not this. Okay, because this is what a lot of people were reporting that the tickets are going to average $25. No, this price was from the 2018 bid book. It's not going to average $305, especially if FIFA's going to do dynamic pricing. Okay, it's just not going to be the case. All right. I do want to wrap up in about 5 minutes. I got a lot of other things to do. Man, my day's like so crazy. I got to get ready for coaching already because I have other things I have to do. But 5 minutes, folks, please drop your final questions. Again, you can go ahead and donate to my channel by dropping a sticker. I'm happy to answer your questions. Just drop a dono right there. About 800 public watch hours left to go before we get to 4,000 watch hours full-on monetization. So if you want to be subscribed now to support me for that effort, please do so. Remember, I have content coming from Barranquilla next weekend, Monterrey next weekend. I will be creating a bunch of content in collaboration with Absolute Sport and in collaboration with the Monterrey World Cup Local Organizing Committee in 2 weekends from now. That content will come, 3 weeks from now. But if you don't want to miss it, make sure you're subscribed. You click on the bell button. You like this live stream and just share this channel with all of your friends and family, okay? My World Cup newsletter, my World Cup Travel and Money newsletter will go out later on tonight at 9 p.m. If you want to be subscribed to that newsletter, go ahead, visit my website, travelfootballfan.com, and you'll be able to go ahead and subscribe to that newsletter. It just has additional money and travel stories that I don't cover otherwise on my TikTok videos. TikTok seems to be doing a little bit better now with views. I'm getting a little bit more money, but it's obviously not what I was doing before. So if you want to go ahead and you want to support me on TikTok, that would be great as well. Folks, I just need all the support I can get from everywhere else as well. How do you compare this to the geographical division of American leagues like the NBA? I mean, divisions-wise, it was all right. The division is all right. Of the groups and everything, I do think they made it into geographic clusters. They did do a good job with that. It's just the political situation makes travel a little bit more hazardous for fans now. Can you give an early World Cup winner prediction? Argentina! I think it's Argentina or France. Argentina or France until otherwise proven. Esos son los dos mejores equipos in the world right now. Argentina y France. Y Francia. So whoever it's until one of those teams gets knocked out, that's the final again. I just do not see any other team being able to compete to that level, to that squad depth, anything. Oh, Denise, thank you, Gabriel desde Brazil. Muchas gracias. No hablo tanto portugués, pero muchas gracias por su apoyo y por su sintonía. Oye, Ancelotti, yo no creo que eso les va a ayudar muchísimo, necesariamente. Yo creo que Brasil todavía le falta un mediocampo de jugadores que puede crear oportunidades para Vini, Rodrigo y Rafinha. Yo no creo que Endrick es la solución para Brasil en este momento. Ese muchacho tiene que jugar más minutos en la liga brasileña. No debería estar en el Real Madrid. Um, ¿Qué más? Y bueno, ¿quién juega su defensa en los laterales? O sea, falta mucho para Brasil. Va a ganar la Copa. Bueno, recuerda, hay esa estadística que ningún entrenador extranjero ha ganado con el país. Entonces, Ancelotti no es brasileño, right? Where's Ancelotti from? Isn't he Italian? ¿O él es brasileño? Si es brasileño, de pronto puede que gane así. Yo siempre pensaba que Ancelotti no era brasileño. Let me know in the comments. So, tu pregunta, Gabriel, do you think factors other than the draw will influence where certain teams play? For instance, concerning popularity, Brazil could schedule to play only the big cities in the U.S. No, it has to be straight draw. Porque if they start considering, oh, look, Brazilians are here in Florida or here this and that, no, then that's gonna create too much. He's from Italy. That's what I thought. That's gonna create too many problems for FIFA. Like the levels of corruption will be off the charts at that point. So no, it's gonna be a straight draw. But I think wherever Brazil goes, I mean, you're gonna have the following there. So yeah. But yeah, hey, look, my first World Cup game was Brazil. You know, Brazil, South Korea. So it was always a blast watching with y'all Brazilians. So it was super amazing. What a memorable World Cup match, the first one to go to as well. So yeah. Dale, muchas gracias, Gabriel. Me sorprende muchísimo que estás viendo de Brasil, pero me alegra muchísimo. Y cualquier otra preguntas, por favor, pónganlo en los comentarios. Mexico versus USA corrupt final. Let's go. It will be the most corrupt thing ever. No, I will say this. Because again, since you know I did study history and you know I've worked in politics and stuff like that, I do think that questions would have to be asked if the USA starts getting very questionable referee decisions for it to help the US to get to at least semifinals. If the USA makes the semifinals with like one or two games that were super sus with the refereeing, I'm just saying 1978 Argentina, y'all can look it up. I even made a video about it on my YouTube. Just saying. Okay. Spain, I think, is closing in on France and Argentina. Maybe, but I think they're still too young. I mean, Lamine Yamal is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I've seen that kid ball out. I mean, that's insane. I would want the kid to rest, and I think he is going to rest this summer because Barcelona is not in the Club World Cup. Kid, get some rest because the next year there's going to be so much demanded of you. But the kid can ball for sure. But I know there's other Spaniards. They're all just young. I think they need one more World Cup before they can overthrow. I would say Spain at home 2030. That would be my bet. They will run the table. I think that would be the most unsurprising thing that could happen if Spain wins their home World Cup. Most unsurprising thing, because by that point those youngsters are going to be at the peak of their powers. So not yet. Am I going to pay attention to Club World Cup and Copa Oro? Sure, I'll pay attention to it as much as I possibly can. Maybe we'll have some live streams talking about some of the results, but other than that, yeah, I guess I still got to decide on my Club World Cup game that I'm going to go to if I go to one. I realize we're going to be out of the country for two of those games here in DC, so there's only one I could realistically go to. So yeah. Mexico definitely has the biggest home advantage outside Brazil 2014. Fans will try to do anything to see those others lose. Yeah. Mexico has such a massive advantage. I think the USA is squandering their opportunity right now with the way that Pulisic and some of these other guys are treating the Gold Cup. I think the USA is going to squander their opportunity. Don't forget Canada, folks. Canada could finish first to go. Obviously, depends who, but Canada, they could at least make round of 32, and we'll have to see what happens from there. Thank you, Gabriel. I really appreciate that, man. You have the most complete channel that's about the World Cup right now, man. Planning to go, and you're helping much. Obrigado. Muchas gracias. Obrigado. And best of luck to you. I know that Brazilians don't have too many issues with visas right now. Make sure you get that visa settled. Get that visa situation settled. If you already have it, fantastic. And again, folks, for those of you watching from abroad, if you're going to come to the U.S., I know many of us are saying don't, okay? But if you're still going to come, have all your travel paid for. Don't come here saying, oh, I'll figure it out. Everything paid. Show it to the border agent. Show them that you are going to leave on this date. and don't play with them, man. That's all I'm saying. Don't be messing around at all. Okay. All right. I do got to wrap up right now. Again, folks, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Click the like button. Click the bell button. Make sure you're sharing this channel with everyone around you. We are almost there at 4,000 watch hours. But again, in order to support me and get me there as fast as possible, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tune in for that content that I'm bringing in from Barranquilla World Cup qualifier. It's going to be the craziest shit ever. And I'm going with a friend too, Colombian Comic. You might be following him on Instagram or TikTok. We are going together to Barranquilla to hopefully go see Colombia take a massive step forward in World Cup qualifying for 2026. We're going to be in Barranquilla, and then I'm going to be coming to Monterrey to do a site visit of Monterrey's World Cup efforts at Estadio BBVA, at their fan festival, and I'm going to be part of the World Football Summit as well. It's just going to be an amazing 2 weeks, but that's why I got to get off now because I got to eat. I got to have my lunch. I got to have therapy. I got to do everything right now. So, again, folks, thank you so much. Go watch all my previous content. This was the most up-to-date information I could give you on World Cup tickets. Again, as of May 27, 2025, I'm going to be really mad if something drops later on today. Make sure you subscribe to my newsletter. It's going to go out later on at 9 p.m. tonight, May 27. Go to my website, travelfootballfan.com, and make sure you follow me across all socials. Again, folks, thank you so much. Muchas gracias. Obrigado.